the pattern interrupt. Imagine you're having a conversation. The rhythm is perfect. The connection is electric. Then, nothing. No goodbye, no argument, no closure. Just a digital flatline. Most people call this ghosting. Psychologists call it something much darker, the silent execution. In the next 10 minutes, we aren't just discussing why they left, we're dissecting the predator-prey dynamic of silence. The big promise. By the end of this video, you will understand the hidden neurological triggers that drive the social ghost. You'll learn why your brain processes this silence the same way it processes physical torture. More importantly, I will give you the exact framework to flip the power dynamic and reclaim your psychological sovereignty. They disappeared to take your power. Today, you take it back. The relatable pain. It's the typing bubble that never finishes, the internal monologue that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. What did I say? What did I do? You scroll back through months of messages, hunting for a clue. You are a detective at your own funeral. The worst part isn't the loss of the person, it's the loss of the why. The ghost knows this. The ghost counts on it. The psychological breakdown. Why does ghosting feel like a punch to the gut? Because to your brain, it is. Social rejection activates the anterior cingulate cortex. This is the same region that registers physical pain. But ghosting is a unique breed of cruelty called ostracism. It denies you targeted social feedback. Without feedback, your brain enters a feedback loop of anxiety. The ghost is using a dark psychological tactic, intermittent reinforcement. By removing the reward, their presence, without warning, they've turned themselves into an addiction you can't quit. They aren't busy, they're exercising the ultimate form of control, erasure. Story example, the case of subject 0. Take Mark, successful, empathetic, seemingly normal. He dated Sarah for 6 months. They planned a trip to Italy. On Tuesday, he sent a heart emoji. On Wednesday, he was a phantom. Sarah checked obituaries. She called hospitals. Mark wasn't dead. He was just finished. Mark didn't ghost because he was strong. He ghosted because he was a psychological coward. To Mark, Sarah wasn't a human. She was a source. Once the source required too much emotional labor, he hit the delete key. For the ghost, disappearing is a survival mechanism to avoid the mirror of accountability. The step-by-step framework. To survive the social ghost, you must follow the RIP protocol. 1. Refuse the narrative. The ghost wants you to believe you are the problem. Correction. Their silence is a confession of their inadequacy, not yours. Do not send the final message. Every unsent text is a win for your dignity. 2. Interrupt the dopamine loop. Your brain is starving for a notification. Delete the thread. Block the number. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. 3. Pivot to external validation. The ghost shrunk your world. Expand it. Engage in high-intensity social environments where your presence is mirrored and valued. Force your brain to realize the ghost was a glitch, not the system. 4. The burial. Accept that closure is a DIY project. You will never get the why from them. Invent a reason. Make it, they weren't ready for my depth. Believe it. Move on. Emotional reinforcement. You are mourning a version of a person that never existed. A person who truly cared about you would never use your own mind as a weapon against you. The ghost gave you a gift, though it feels like a curse. They showed you their ceiling. They reached the limit of their emotional intelligence, and it was far below yours. You didn't lose a partner, you lost a weight. Stop looking at the door they closed. The ending and open loop. The social ghost thinks they've won because they got the last word, silence. But silence is a two-way street. Now that you know the psychology of why they left, you're ready for the next level. Because there is something far more dangerous than a ghost. There is the Hoover. Eventually, the ghost will try to return. Do you know the 3 words that will shatter their ego when they finally check in? I'll show you how to handle the resurrection in the next video. Click here to master the art of the permanent exit.